All right, y'all. I don't know. I don't know about this episode, y'all. Now I see why I didn't see any leaks at all, because even when I try to avoid leaks, I end up seeing something on my timeline, right? But nothing came across my timeline because there was nothing to leak, girl. Like, let's talk about this episode, y'all. Honestly, I see why George R. R. Martin be writing shady blog posts every week, girl. Like, what was going on? Listen, once I saw that Sarah Hess wrote this, y'all should have seen how hard I rolled my eyes when Sarah Hess' name came across my screen when it said, oh, written by, you know when to do this. I was like, oh, girl, here we go. I knew it was going to be a mess. I'm sorry, y'all, but like, it's the finale, so things have to come together. To me, it was given anticlimactic. There were great scenes scattered throughout the whole episode, but as far as the episode as a whole, I was not feeling it. Now, some of these scenes, I'm not going to talk about them like I usually talk about them, because I can't even joke. I can't even have fun because of how pointless some of them are, right? Like the entire scenario with Thailand Lannister didn't need to be here, in my opinion. Like, looking it up and finding out that wasn't even in the books makes so much sense, because I really do not care about this man, this situation, or this scene. In the books, apparently, Sharako Lohar was an admiral for the Triarchy. They commanded a fleet of warships for the Triarchy, but in the books, they're a man in the books, right? So when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, so that's why it felt so clunky and weird. It just not knowing that this person was a man in the books, like, not knowing that, it felt weird already. Like, so now I'm seeing y'all change this character to a woman so y'all could give her this weird, wannabe quirky non-storyline with Thailand. And y'all know me, I know things have to change for TV, and I'm not even a book person like that at all. So if a change works, it works. But I understand why this foolishness was not in the books. And also, to me, when you start to just talk about like world building stuff, when you start to make their culture like Sharako Lohan's culture look silly, it's kind of weird. Like, oh, we're going to have a mud fight now to show who's the best, because we're from Essos and we do random stuff. Like, no culture in the books has mud fights like this, joke or not, or whatever. Like, I bet you won't see it again. I bet you won't see this fight again, this type of fight. Like, even in Game of Thrones, they explained the interesting things that the Dothraki did, right? Like how in that ceremony or whatever, Daenerys was eating a horse's heart. And that might seem strange and gross and weird to some people, but she did it for a cultural reason that made sense, especially considering their prophecies, the Dothraki's prophecies about the stallion who mounts the world, and the importance that horses had in their culture. Like, we got to know the culture of the Dothraki people, and therefore, you know, seeing the reasons why they did these traditions made sense. And here, to me, it just feels like, oh, the weird people from Essos want to have a mud fight, haha. Like, it just feels cheap, and like y'all don't actually consider the people from Essos to be people at all. Like, y'all don't consider them to be peoples with cultures, even if you argue like, oh, the entire thing was a joke that they pulled on Lord Thailand, so it's not really that big of a deal. I still think that this entire sequence with Lord Thailand or whatever was a waste of time, unnecessary, and it's just unnecessary to me. Like, instead of us time jumping around to end the episode with a battle or something, since y'all gonna time jump anyway, instead of doing that, like, we are over here watching Sharako flirt with Thailand, and I'm just not laughing. It's not fun. I'm just like, okay, I can't even talk about it and be funny, because I think the whole sequence could have been deleted out so we could have actually addressed something or actually be seeing something that moved the story along. Like, why am I watching Thailand do anything? I don't care about him. Anyway, Aemon is out here burning castles. He's lit Sharp Point on fire and burnt innocents. Why are we not surprised? Vhagar's looking like, hey, I want to go burn some more. To be honest, I'm just getting started. Human meat is getting my stomach going. Like, Vhagar is ready to go. Aegon is over here stressing out the only black employee in the Red Keep by asking him for rum. Talking about you're a good man, Orwell. I would have been like, boy, I'm just trying to keep my head at this point. Like, And look at Aegon, bro. Like look at like he got a permanent haircut from Rhaenys and Meleys. Like a permanent haircut. Here come Larys talking about some boy. Most of my coin is in the Iron Bank in Bravos. We can get out of here. Let's just go to Essos. Rhaenyra has more riders. Your brother has gone mad. In Sharp Point, he's coming for your head. Aegon's like, so you want me to live with the poor people and the savages? Like, you really? That's not gonna happen. Aegon's like, well, Aemon's not here. I'll take the throne while he's gone and imprison him when he comes back. And Larys is like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. And then when Rhaenyra descends on your silly self with 7 dragons, what you gonna do then, mama? And now, keep in mind, this whole time, Aegon's talking about his peen. Like, Larys, do you know I can't even take a leap without it raining on my leg? Did you know that my sausage was cooked and exploded like Joker did the hospital in The Dark Knight? Like, I'm done. And I was like, Aegon, like, you really messed up. What made you think you could charge into war on a tank and you ain't never really, I ain't even seen you joyride with Sunfire like that. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Now, in this scene, speaking of Sunfire, in this scene, he says that his dragon is dead. Now, unless somebody lied to him or he's just really not saying the truth for some reason, if his dragon is actually dead, this is making me think that a certain showdown that was supposed to happen, wink, wink, if you know what I'm talking about, a certain showdown might not be happening. I don't know. They've been remixing stuff, so we'll see. Also, I think that Aegon claiming the title The Realm's Delight is very stupid if it's not being done in an ironic way. Like, first of all, why would the Greens want to be associated with anything remotely Rhaenyra? Like, second of all, when he said that, I was waiting for him to laugh like he said that he was the Realm's Delight, ironically. Like, I was waiting for that shoe to drop because, like, it would be an ironic thing because of his current condition. Maybe he's just making fun of himself, you know, like the Realm's Delight. But no, it doesn't seem like it was done ironically at all. It seems like he's really trying to claim that or reclaim the Realm's Delight. And I thought that that was a very corny touch, if I do say so myself. Now, the writers have been dragging Rhaena around for so long. She's so hungry and thirsty. She's been dragged around the script for so long that she had to stop and drink E. coli dysentery water in the wilderness. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a castle, like, imagine there's like a big mansion behind you, right? Like, not even a collection of mansions behind you. And you over here drinking E. coli water. Like, girl, first of all, I'm going back. Like, if anything, I'm just going to disobey Rhaenyra's order and eat some cakes, pies. Do you see what I'm saying? Drink at least somewhat filtered water. I don't know what type of filter they got back then. You know, I don't know how they filter in the water. But at least I would just, if I'm going to disobey Rhaenyra's order anyway, and she going to know I disobeyed the order, because first of all, why are they not looking for the literal royal anyway? Like, why are her guards or whoever not looking for Rhaena? Like, y'all ain't looking for Rhaena? You see what I'm saying? So if Rhaenyra is already going to know that I disobey her order by not leaving, I'm going to at least not leave while I'm at the vet, like literally underneath Jane Aaron's, what's her face? Underneath her roof. You see what I'm saying? She over here drinking the water from the, like, I'm sure it's some dragon manure in there. She drinking water. Do you see what I'm saying? So y'all dragging Rhaena all around, like I said in my previous video, dying of hunger, like she's really dying of hunger, like she's running around the veil, like she's dying of hunger and thirst. Y'all got her running around the veil, and it's really a sin. It's a crime what you did to Rhaena. I'm telling you that right now. You will not replace us. There he goes. There go your boy. There go Jace. You will not replace us. Like, he is mad, honey. Jace came in here like, boy, if you don't get your feet off this table. Now, Ulf ain't know who he was. He was like, boy, you might want to chill. This is the prince. Like, who else could it be? He lives here. Like, Ulf is really, Ulf really goes for it. He's like, oh, Jace, hey, nice dark hair, girl. What's the tea? Lovely to meet you. You know, you and I, we're the same. And girl, Jace was about to start putting gas in those chambers. That's the thing that set him off. Like, we're the same, you and I. Girl, Jace was about to start putting gas in those chambers and lining them dragon seeds up in a single file line, like he marching for the SS. Do you hear what I'm saying? he was about to go there. Jace said, girl, Aemon has the Colossal Titan at this point. He just transformed at Sharp Point, so you already know his people is dying. Are you willing to go and face an enemy like that? Like, he's asked up that. Like, Aemon's walking around here with a Colossal Titan. Where is Mikasa when you need her? Like, are you ready and willing to go face an enemy like that? If you hinder us in any way, I will have you hanged and I'll feed your body to them dogs. Jace was not playing. Oh, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, my grace. Oh my God, your grace. I'm sorry. Girl, get out of here. Rhaenyra is talking to Corlys, and she's like, I have riders, but dragon riders, but in the end, I know I can't trust them for real. I got to be careful. We don't really know who they are. Corlys was like, you need to strike. They have Tessarion. They have Dreamfire. Then we find out that instead of trying to be a better parent to his kids that he didn't want to claim, he named his ship the Queen Who Never Was, and I was supposed to clap. Just like, girl, okay. I don't know, y'all. It was just like, okay, next scene, please, because, like, I'm not moved. At least y'all finally got that ship out to sea, because she been stuck in the parking lot for a whole season like she ain't paid. Like she ain't paid a ticket and had a boot on her wheel. Mama's was stuck. You talk about, what's his face? Corlys was the greatest ship person who ever lived. Great sea legend. He couldn't get his Prius out the lot. He couldn't get his Toyota Corolla off the parking lot this whole season. He the greatest legend, ship, sea legend, blah, blah, blah. His ship was parked in the parking garage like they done lost the code to open the gates. I am crying right now. I don't know. Corlys he's giving me deadbeat so bad that him naming this ship this and all this, I'm like, okay, that's supposed to move somebody, but after you done lost and you just naming the ship something, it's not giving me nothing, Corlys. You're not giving me anything, babes. So Sir Alfred's snaky self show up to Harrenhal, and Daemon's like, oh, so this is definitely Rhaenyra checking on me. Interesting. He eventually, Sir Alfred eventually says, look, y'all know I would never serve the Greens. Like, that's just never gonna happen. But we need a king right now, not a queen. Rhaenyra don't know what she's doing. And Sir Simon's over here getting a tea like the old queen that he is, as he should. Sir Simon ain't done nothing wrong but sit here and try not to get roasted by Dragonfire. And he's just collecting the tea and trying to protect himself. He's like, girl, y'all ain't gonna have my head. Aemon said that I don't care if the people suffer and they're hungry. I don't care if the fishermen suffer. We need to make sure that none of these boats are leaving so that Rhaenyra can't find any more riders. Ooh, well, Alicent's like, Helena, do you want to get out of here? You want to get out of Washington, D.C.? And Helena's like, yeah, girl, but where we gonna go? And Alicent don't know. Look at her. She's stuck like Chuck. That's when Aemon pops in like, hey, mama, guess what? Rhaenyra has more dragon riders, so I'm gonna need for you, Helena, to hop on Dreamfire. Helena's like, girl, I'm not going to be burning anybody, and y'all know that. Like, everybody knows that. Aemon's like, well, we must answer them. We are in peril more than we are yesterday. Then Alicent said, was it peril that made you burn the town of Sharp Point? She said, peril or basest fury at your humiliation. You're raining death on the kingdom, and now you want Helena to get into it. Please back up. And Aemon's like, girl, but we're going to die. Wouldn't you have us prevail? And Alicent said, not like this. Not like this. She sound like in Yalla Van said, not on my watch. Not on my watch. Get out my face. Get out my face. So obviously, having watched the whole episode, this is where Alicent asks for passage to Dragonstone. Very corny idea. I don't know who thought of it. Well, we do know Sarah Hess, I guess, and y'all approved it. I cannot believe it. Sir Criston Cole is sniffing Alicent's panties in broad daylight, bro. Like, oh, I tried to get through that without laughing, but he is sniffing her undergarments in broad daylight, like in the army camp in broad daylight, bro. And whatever, I know it's her handkerchief or whatever she bring around, a piece of cloth, but he's like gooning public, public play. Like he's really gooning like in public. Yo, I can't do this. You get a room, bro. And so while he's like literally inhale, like he's in mid breath, just breathing Alicent in. Here come Gwen, and just listen to what I'm saying. Listen closely to what I'm saying. Here comes Gwen. I guess he found out at this exact moment that Sir Criston Cole was breaking his oaths and screwing the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, and decided to lunge at the hand of the king and commander of the Kingsguard in front of everyone, all of the subordinates, over the honor of his sister and Sir Criston Cole breaking all his oaths. Like, okay, that's what he chose to do. Then after Sir Criston Cole says, well, everyone's corrupt and all the dragons are going to annihilate us all. And, he says, Sir Gawain, it'd be kind of nice to die, wouldn't you think? That's all it apparently took. That was enough to get Gawain to literally back down from essentially pointing a gun at the vice president and the leader of the Secret Service, like in front of all the subordinates, in front of the army. Like, that's what you did. And so when the writers do certain things, like have these characters make these decisions, it needs to feel like they done made a decision. You raised a sword to the vice president and the leader of the Secret Service. Like, you see what I'm saying? And then all it took was for him to say, oh, I'm sad. For you to be like, oh, and you did it for a reason because of your sister's honor and and all of that. But it's just like, it just feels so, I don't know if melodramatic is the right way, and I know it's a drama show, whatever, but when politics and war and all that stuff is involved, it's not like, oh, we're just going for a walk in the park to discuss our disagreements. It's war, it's politics, it's war. And so that's why it's so crazy to me to see Rhaenyra and Alicent still buddy up. When sons are dead and people are burning, it's just like, please stop. But whatever, this didn't happen. Maybe both these, headless grinder torsos will fall in love or something. I just don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. Already talked about this stupid mud fight. Not going to talk about it anymore because I'm going to get mad at how we could have spent all these scenes doing something that I actually cared about. This woman talking about, have you ever eaten the flesh of your enemies? Haha, never mind. I'm just kidding. Like, girl, oh my gosh, I'm yawning. It's very much like, oh, these cultures, they might eat people across the seas. Oh, just kidding. Like, I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm looking at Baela in this scene and I'm just like, okay, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Being the black character who gives the white boy the pep talk, it's just like, all right, this is not the first time it's happened. This is not the first time it's happened with Baela. And considering what was supposed to happen on Dragonstone with her dragon, in my, like, now I'm wondering if it's even going to happen. I'm just like, so what is she really doing here, y'all? And like, Baela just lost her grandma. I think we just seen her talk about it like a couple of times. One time, a little bit with Corlys and a little bit with Rhaenyra, but like, wouldn't she be talking about it so much with Jace? Anytime they talk together, it's only Jace talking about himself. It's him saying, I miss Luke. I gotta prove myself and secure these political alliances. I hate these dragon seeds. Like, that's it. Nothing about how Baela is feeling. She just lost her grandmama. Baela's talking about, you are the crown prince, the rightful heir. You're not the first one who's not sired by his noble father. Rise up and be encouraged. And it's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, it would be one. I'm not saying Baela can't support Jace, but this is second, third time we didn't seen these conversations between these two, and it's all about Jace. I'm like, Baela just lost her grandmama. Please. Rhaena out here in the cold. Oh, the writers it's so terrible what y'all did to my girl. Now imagine if we were able to spend the moments that we spent hearing Thailand try to sing. Like, imagine if the show spent those moments actually moving the story forward in a way that made sense. I promise y'all, I do not care about this. Oh, I want you to have kids with my wives. Like, okay. Okay. Now, Ulf is over here swallowing this food up. Do you hear me? Elbows on the table, mouth open while he chews. He don't care. Okay? And as he should. Honestly, if I am like a poor small folk person, right? And you kings and you royals have been eating like this while I was starving? Oh yeah, I'd go in there and feast too. I'm sorry. And you want me to ride a dragon into war? I am going to eat however I want to eat, and that's what Ulf says essentially. Jace is about to pop his lid here. Rhaenyra says that once they win the fight, they will be knights of the realm. Not only that, but they're going to leave in 2 days' time. They have to learn the commands and learn their dragons. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is this is like, I understand Rhaenyra needs dragon riders, but this is a crazy idea. Baela being the first one to say, "Oh my gosh, you would have us kill innocents, Rhaenyra? You would have us kill innocents?" After she was shown this entire season, this entire show, to be the first one to be like, "Oh my goodness, I will fight. I will take up, my dragon. I will. It's given very much fire and blood. Let me engage the enemy." Like she was trying to burn up Sir Criston Cole. Let me engage the enemy. This whole time, Baela knowing that she's getting her life with fire and blood, and that she wants to ride her dragon, and her being the first one to say, "Oh my gosh, the innocents." I'm not buying it. Not buying it. And I'm gonna go even further, but I'm really about to drag it when it comes to this Alicent and Rhaenyra meeting. But this is just the beginning. I think that this talk of, oh my goodness, Rhaenyra's gonna kill the innocents, feels like the writers talking directly, like they're trying to talk to the fans on Twitter and stuff. Like, why we bring, girl, I'm gonna get to it. So the Maester came to the table and was like, "Guess what, sis? There's a FaceTime call coming in from Harrenhal." Rhaenyra got up quick. She stood up quick, like somebody done put thorns on her seat or something. Like, she stood up so quick. She said, "Daemon, Daemon, 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 Daemon." I was hollering how quick she got up. She's like, "Girl, I need that army, girl. I need that army." But it's Simon saying, "Rhaenyra, you better bring yourself up here," because Daemon seems like he's planning something, and it's not looking too good. Now, listen, maybe I think that this whole will Daemon bend the knee to Rhaenyra or not is corny, because I already knew that for the story to work, how it does in the lore, that Daemon would have to fight for her. So I kind of already knew that he was going to stay with her. I don't know if they made it even convincing that he was going to leave like that, or like his reasoning for the fact that he could have reached for this the whole time and he just now, I don't know. And I don't know. Right? So I don't know if it's because I already knew that he was going to fight for her, but some of it felt a little wonky. I don't know. I'm sure you could have had us doubt his allegiance to Rhaenyra in a different way, right? Like, I don't know. I want to see what y'all think about that. Anyway, Rhaenyra takes Adam to go with her to Harrenhal. Of course, this angers Jace, even though Rhaenyra honestly is just keeping Jace locked up because she doesn't want to lose him like she lost Luke. It doesn't erase the fact that Jace is feeling angry about the situation. Like, she's depending on these dragon seeds more than me. She's not taking me. But Rhaenyra is definitely extremely afraid of losing another child. Daemon is here, of course, still tripping. He's getting escorted to the Godswood. We see one of the green men pop up, which I thought was fun. Alice says to him, "All your life you sought to command your own fate, but today you are ready." He gets shown this vision, right, that includes a young three-eyed raven, Brendan Rivers. It includes Dany, her eggs, the comet, which to me makes me think like Prince Who Was Promised. We been knew that. Who else would it be? Y'all gonna have to stop playing with Daenerys, and that's just it. We saw this lopsided, great value version of the Night King. We've seen dead dragons. It's giving me Dany's dead dragons. This part gave me Jon versus the Night King and stuff. No spoilers, but I think that this is Daemon sinking after he jumped at that battle against you-know-who, and you-know-what. I won't say, but if you know, you know. I could be wrong about this, but let me know in the comments. So yeah, it's just this very much like, oh, well, Rhaenyra is supposed to be sitting on the throne at the end of the day. Daemon needs to play his part. I will say that Helena showing up was cool. "You know what you must do," she tells him. I mean, this entire thing with Daemon, to me, I like the dreams. I like dreaming. I like the whole concept. I like the magic. I like all of it. But I just wish it was done in a more streamlined, more condensed, more concise way. I don't know how to explain it or how to describe it. Like, but it just some of it felt like they were just like, all right, Daemon's here, we got to do something with his character, right? So I'm not saying that the entirety of the Daemon dreams and stuff should have gone, because no, it's interesting to peer back and of course to reference Game of Thrones, all of that, and to get into the magic and to get into the histories of the Children of the Forest and the Three-Eyed Raven and all that. Like, it's fun, but I just wish we did it a little differently in Harrenhal, to where it felt more, it had more oomph at the end in the finale, you know. I don't know, but let me know what y'all think about that as well. So Aemon comes to Helaena again as she's finishing up her astral projection to ask her one more time to ride into battle with him. She's like, what if I say no? Will you burn me like you did to Aegon? And Aemon's like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. That's treason, treason, treason. But she's like, girl, please, I seen it. What are you talking about? And Aemon knows, like, from the look on his face, he knows. I mean, he's seen Helaena in his dreams and stuff, right? Right? So, like, I mean, he just knows that she's telling the truth, and he knows that she'd seen it for real. Aegon will be king again, she says. You, however, will be dead, and we know that. Aemon's like, I could have you killed for that. And Helena's like, well, it wouldn't change anything, so good luck. So now, by this point, we're having these conversations and stuff. By this point, the first time I watched the episode, I'm like, we almost done with the episode. We're close to the end. And, like, nothing is moving towards, like, oh, we about to fight right now. So I'm like, there's no battle happening, is there? There's no dragon action happening here, is there? And, of course, I was proven right. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. So, yeah, as I said in my video breaking down the preview for this episode, I was right. Rhaenyra did pull up to Harrenhal. And to me, this scene was, like, very fan servicey. Like, it was fun. Okay, whatever. Cyrax flew in. Sea Smoke's out here. Cyrax perched up. Like, it was fun or whatever. But I think, to me, Rhaenyra, if you thought there was treason going on at the castle, like, I'm not going there just basically alone. You know, I mean, I guess 2 dragons, it can work to deter, but, like, why would you go into a castle that held an army full of people and that you don't know who they sworn to? Like, why would you go in there like this? Like, and I get that she had Cyrax watching over everything, and Cyrax would have gone off if anything happened, I'm sure. But, I mean, if you want to give us fan service, have Rhaenyra circle the castle with almost all her dragons, a show of force to bring the army to heel if she'd had to. Or, you know, have her march up there with her own army. We could waste time, I guess. But, like, unless deep down she knew that Daemon would never betray her, even though that, to me, is definitely not what they were selling us on this season. They were selling us, that Rhaenyra was so stressed out that she didn't know what Daemon would do or whatever. So walking in here without anything, and just to an army of people you don't know who they, like, you don't know if it's a treasonous army, to me is like, I don't know. Like, all of this seemed like wasted time. All these scenes seemed like wasted time that we could have had actual fights. Get us closer to the Battle of the Gullet. Or let us see it in the finale. Let's see it for the finale. If y'all gonna skip around and jump around and break lore anyway, have the finale go out with a bang. Like, this doesn't make any, to me, all these scenes when we could have been really getting our lives, these pointless scenes of Daemon bending the knee to her 10 trillion times again, it gives me very much my queen from Jon Snow. You are my queen, you are my queen. It gives me very much. Y'all didn't know what, I was like, what is going on? For them to land the plane like this with Daemon and Rhaenyra, to me, did not seem, like, it did not make all the confusion with Daemon and Harrenhal worth it to me. Like, it just didn't. And, like, they're over here screaming. They're screaming with energy. We fight for our queen alongside Daemon, right? With so much enthusiasm. You would think that these people weren't just about to kill each other the episode before. Like, I get you have to show enthusiasm because the queen is here. because you're sworn to do so as a soldier. But the show didn't even show the nuance of some of these soldiers hating Daemon, hating the queen for his atrocities, but having to serve the queen anyway. They're all just like, we fight for our queen, our queen, our queen. It's just, I don't know. Now here, not gonna lie, I absolutely love this scene. Abubakar Salim is an actor. Do you hear me? Abubakar is an actor. Corlys said to Alyn, he was like, hey girl, why don't you lighten up? You can't lead if you're always frowning all the time and scrolling on your phone and hiding out in the break room. What are you so mad for? Corlys! And he was pushing it, and Alyn kept it together. Alyn kept it together for as long as he possibly could in front of Corlys's deadbeat stuff. Like, he kept it together for as long as he could, but eventually Alyn went off. He was like, girl, I ain't asked for this. You say you trying to help me when you ignored me for most of my life. I got to see you walk around with your ears, and they walking through the mall and picking anything they want to pick up, and you buying them for them, your children, your heirs and stuff. And I'm watching you do this while I'm starving. And now that those kids are ashes and dust, now that those kids are dead, you want to turn to us? You ain't never seen. Corlys kept saying, oh, you are dismissed. You are dismissed. You are dismissed. Girl, that didn't work. Alyn said, no, you're going to hear this today. You want to know what grief does to a boy, what shame does? Girl, he started to preach. Alyn started to preach. And then he said, when I'm done with this war, I expect to be left alone. Corlys stood there looking like Boo-Boo the fool. He couldn't even look Alyn in the face while he was getting scolded. The shame, Corlys. And you're going to eat that. And he's going to walk away and not get punished because you know he told the truth. Both of these actors did so amazing in this scene. Steve and Abubakar did so well. It was just so convincing. He was like, and another thing, when my mama asked for child support checks, and you couldn't come see us, but you didn't even want to give us child support. Oh, he got dragged. I love to see it. Now, Rhaenyra and Mysaria are watching the dragons fly around. Rhaenyra said to Mysaria, in order to claim my throne, thousands will die, but Mysaria urges her to go for it. Just go for it. Just really gassing her up. You must prevail. It's just like, okay, Mysaria. Okay. Like, I don't trust her. Y'all can say what y'all want. They would make a hot couple, but in this right now, I don't trust her for Rhaenyra. I trust her for herself. Like, I trust she's going to do the best thing for herself. But her right now, gassing Rhaenyra up. Yes, honey, go and do it. You are the queen. It is ordained. It is ordained by the gods. Like, girl, okay. Yes, man. It's giving very much yes, man. I got my eye on you, Mysaria. So Rhaenyra in her nightgown, right? She got her bonnet on. And they tell her that someone wants to see her, and it's Alicent. So at this point, I was like, yeah, it's near the end of the episode, and Alicent and Rhaenyra are going to talk for a long time. At this point, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not seeing a battle or anything. I'm not seeing dragons or anything. Instead, I'm going to see these two act like there aren't bodies dropping around them. I was like, I knew I was going to be right about the writing this episode. And this fan service scene was long too. Alicent talking about how she was mistaken and how she was raised to follow paths laid out for us, and that Rhaenyra didn't care about that, and that was the reason why she resented her. It felt like the writers were trying to talk to the fans who are arguing online. I think that's what makes it feel extra corny. They are not treating some of these characters like they're actual human beings just living out their lives and making choices based on their own biases, experiences, and emotions and traumas. They're treating these characters like it's their sports team. And I get it because of the marketing, but it's like y'all having these characters explain their own actions for the viewers watching, like justifying themselves like they're angry posters defending their favorite character on Reddit. It doesn't give me life. And you can even say the same thing about Baela blurting out, oh my goodness, Rhaenyra, you're going to have us kill innocents? It just feels like one messy, muddy fan service thing that is just not effective for me. Don't judge me for what you yourself have done. Alicent says to Rhaenyra, sounds like a fan of the Greens talking about the blacks online. Like, it sounds like one of the fans from Twitter. And then Rhaenyra responds with, "But you alone made virtue your banner," which is true. This is true. But we already went over this. When Rhaenyra said in season 1, is exhausting, wasn't it? Hiding beneath the cloak of your own righteousness. We already went over this. Why are we still here? We are at war. What is the point of Alicent coming? Like, do the writers not know what war is? Alicent's talking about some Viserys never stopped loving your mother. You know, like, wait, where we get on that? How we get on that? What is the scene? Alicent says that Aemon is soon to fly to the Riverlands, and when he's gone, Helaena as queen will be the authority. And I have so many problems with this because, like, I don't think that's how it would go for real at all. Like, I mean, they could try. I mean, Alicent with her she don't even have a position on the council no more. She could try to push Helaena to the throne. Helaena, a woman who barely wants to ride Dreamfire, but Aegon's brother, Alicent's son, who rides to Sarion, y'all know Daemon, right? Like, I just think that they would put Aegon's brother, they would try to put Aegon's brother, who already has a dragon, on the Iron Throne before they ever think about Helaena. Like, before they ever think about Helaena. So, especially because Aemon has no sons of his own, right? And neither does Aegon. So I just think that, because clearly Jaehaerys is out of here. So I think that they would completely overlook Helaena and go to Alicent's son. But like I said, I think Alicent could probably get some things accomplished because Daemon, or whatever his name is, wouldn't be at the Red Keep. He's literally flying to Sarion around with the armies and stuff. So they could probably do some things to the Red Keep before he get there. But I think they would install him first. Anyway, Alicent said, "Come during that time when Helaena is in power, I guess, and I'll have our guards throw down their arms, and you can just come in and take King's Landing without any bloodshed." Rhaenyra rightfully asks, "Well, what about Aegon?" And Alicent's like, "Well, maybe I can get him to bend the knee." And Rhaenyra's like, "Girl, that sounds like a silly idea. I have to take Aegon's head for all to see, and you know this." And then so the scene seems even sillier because it's like, okay, Rhaenyra's telling Alicent to choose, so the story is making it seem like Alicent has any choice anyway, and that some meaningful decision was made here by Alicent when she okayed the sacrifice of her son. It's like fire and blood was already coming in Aegon's direction, whether Alicent was going to say that stuff or not. You know, that wasn't going to change because of this conversation either way. Please. And then Rhaenyra, after having lost so much, still allows Alicent to go. Still allows Alicent to leave. Now, Alicent could be lying to her face. The last time they talked, Alicent was determined to see this through. Alicent said it was too late. To me, it's just not believable that Rhaenyra would just be like, okay, well, just go. You know, Rhaenys and so many more people have died since then. Like, this is why I said in the video that you can check out in my description. This is why I said that sometimes the writers make these women seem toothless, like make Rhaenyra and Alicent seem a little toothless, because like, why are we having secret meetings after all that happened? You said that it's up, so it's stuck. Like, that's it. It's on site. But because so many showrunners have this obsession with making sure that every character is loved and justified, and that their every action has an excuse made for it, like, we're having these scenes where it's like the writers are talking to Twitter. Y'all are talking to Twitter and Reddit instead of making characters that are just living their lives and allowing the fans to comment. I think y'all could have got away with like the Rhaenyra and Alicent meeting in the Sept one time. Like, that was already pushing it for me. But at least y'all did it in a way that's like, okay, I could overlook it. But this time I was like, this is really corny. This is really corny. Now, narratively, the battle or whatever happens in 2 days' time. I'm just like, y'all could have shown us that for the finale or whatever. I don't care if it's the gullet or whatever. Instead, we're just watching everyone get ready for the battle like we've been watching for how many seasons. It just feels like, you know. From the trailer, they made it seem like we're really going to meet Tessarion this episode, and that didn't happen. We saw him for like 5 seconds total. Rhaena finally finds Sheepstealer. It looks cool. I mean, the dragon definitely looks cool. It would be fun to see what's going on next season, but we didn't even get to see Rhaena mount the dragon, fly off on it at all. anything, just everything about this episode was anticlimactic. It was just, I don't know. Otto apparently has been taken prisoner or something. Somebody was like, maybe it's the Beesburys who's, I was like, okay, that would make sense. And then they're really like, Aegon is really going to Essos. Aegon is really going to Essos, yo. I like Aegon is really going to Essos. How did they get his, he could be, last episode he was struggling to even walk, and he was just telling us he can't go to the bathroom. How did they get him who he's laid out with his leg elevated all the way up? How did they get him in a cart, in a wagon to go to Essos? And he's not in an ambulance. Child, and like I said, they ain't got no shocks or nothing. You are in a buggy. Wooden wheels, girl, wooden or metal wheels. You're feeling every stone and pebble on that road. Like, it just don't make no sense. This finale was a mess, y'all. This finale was a mess. At this point, like, anytime Sarah Hess talking, I just got to put in my earplugs. I just got to put in my earphones. Anytime Sarah has said something to me, I just got to act like I didn't hear it and keep walking, because this was a mess. This was a mess, y'all. Please let me know. I'm sure I'm going to end up doing another video about this in the middle of the week or something. I'm sure we're going to end up talking about it, because I want to know what y'all think. Thank you all so much for watching. Please go to patreon.com/AvatarAdrian. We are trying to talk about any other shows we might want to review, right? Over there. So if you want to give your 2 cents in now that House of the Dragon is over, if you want to give your 2 cents about which show we should review next, or what we should do with shows we should review next, let me know over there. Love y'all so much, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace. All right, y'all, make sure that you're going to www.zaraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, this sequel, is following up the first book that is already released, called Zaraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing fantasy and stuff, so just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zaraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zaraxia, The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zaraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.